The collapse in bee populations can be reversed if countries adopt new farmer-friendly strategy, architect of new master plan for pollinators will tell UN Biodiversity Conference this week. Urgent planting of wildflowers will attract pollinators and boost farmers' food crops.
Here's a summary of the article.
The collapse in bee populations can be reversed if countries adopt a new farmer-friendly strategy, the architect of a new master plan for pollinators will tell the UN Biodiversity Conference this week. She provides pollinators with cheap nesting support, such as old wood and beaten soil that ground nesting bees can burrow into. Compared with control fields of pure monocultures, amazing benefits for farmers and an increase in abundance and diversity of pollinators were found. Working with tourist, agriculture and communication ministries, she aims to raise awareness of the economic benefits of wild pollinators and to encourage more planting of wildflowers, berry bushes and flowering trees. As more countries appreciate the advantages, she hopes they will be willing to join the coalition of countries committed to reversing the decline in pollinators. For many years, she struggled to gain funds and for 2 years she had to use her savings to finance her work on pollinator programs. Countries are saying that we are using too many pesticides and the number of birds and bees is going down. We need to do something about it or our agricultural systems won't work, said Irene Hoffman, who is leading the study for the Food and Agriculture Organization.
This post received a score of 43,729, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I planted naturally native plants in my backyard. Now during the spring, summer, and fall there are all kinds of bees and butterflies fluttering about. It's amazingly wonderful.
I too have done a little work to plant and encourage a variety of perennial species of flowering plants on my property. It is so full of bees and butterflies that my wife and I often just sit and watch them in the summer. We have a pond and it attracts too many species to count. I understand that not everyone has the same options as we do, but our combined income is below average for the US and we have enjoyed the work we have done and enjoy the fruits of many of the flowering plants.
Thank you for doing your part.
I have to admit, I mostly do it for selfish reasons. I like to eat the food that my gardens produce, I like to live in an abundant paradise of food and flowers. At this point, it isn't all that pretty, but I figure I have the rest of my life to work on that. Unfortunately I don't live there year-round right now, but I hope to soon.
I can't wait to have a garden to be able to plant my own veg. Smiling face with heart eyes. That's the dream.
Sorry if this sounds like a lecture, but every time you are about to spend money on something you don't need, just remind yourself that you really want to save money to support your dream. I already own property and I have already planted over 100 fruit trees, but I hope to have a working orchard someday. Every time I am about to go out to eat or buy some unnecessary item, I weigh it against the cost of a fruit tree. Is this beer worth 1/4 of a fruit tree? Is this new pair of shoes worth 2 fruit trees? If I don't need it and it isn't worth it, I save that money so when I have the chance I have the money to put into improving my property.
Greater than is this beer worth 1/4 of a fruit tree? Is this new pair of shoes worth 2 fruit trees? Look man, I don't wanna be the bearer of bad news, but it sounds to me like you've got a serious issue with fruit tree addiction.
Yeah, it's best to be normal and measure everything in RuneScape Gold.
Plus ban all the pesticides that kill them, like France just did.
Greater than plus ban all the pesticides that kill them, like France just did. There's tons of scientific proof that exists, despite what the Monsanto buyer trolls are sprinkling about this thread. Y'all are really, really horrible people, but what do you expect from the company that has literally been a merchant of poisonous death for a century? Attracts the sorts of people you'd expect as employees. At any rate, the neonicotinoids are not merely bee unfriendly, and much more than an insecticide, they are biocides. Kill all sorts of things besides including birds. Nasty awful stuff.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by SMMRY.com, without any human intervention.